Seems legit.
Hello Legitimates, welcome back to my channel. If you have been around all day, you would have seen that I recently did a live cutting stuff out and I decided I needed more templates. So I have made some. This one is on black acrylic and we have also painted the letters and engraved it. This one I did off camera, but it is just the rectangle that I needed. So happy days for that. But I'm going to show you in the program how to build this and all the steps back and forth to cut and everything. So let's go. Alright, so I have opened a new tab. I love this because you can have different tabs everywhere. These are all other videos I plan on doing, but I am sidetracked by the fact that I want to do this. So we're going to go to a rectangle because that's what I'm building. And I'm just going to draw it. And then over to the side here, I've got it set to millimeters. I'm pretty sure I can change it, oops, to inches. Now, I normally work in centimeters, but I know what size in inches I need, so we're just going to switch it. Okay? And so now this is in inches, so I need 16 and 8. Now, see how that just changed that to the wrong side? This over here has locked it. So you want to click that so it's got the line. Now it's not locked and I can change this back to 16 and it will stay the size I'm telling it to. So that is what size I need to cut. But that's just not all we're going to do. So I'm going to come over here and get a circle. That's not very circly. And I want to make it, I don't want a too big a circle, maybe 0.25 of an inch. And then we're going to change this to 0.25. Oh, okay, it's locked again. So it automatically does that. So that's all right. Now it's a nice circle. Now I'm going to click on it. No, not that. Click on the circle. And now I'm going to lock the ratio. So if I decide to make it larger, it will now still be a perfect circle. This is so I can hang it, by the way. I mean, it doesn't really, like, that's a really big circle, but also it doesn't matter. So I'm going to click off everything. I'm going to select it. See how it highlights a different color? I'm going to click on the little one, hold shift, and then click on the big one so that they're both like that. And then over here, we can align them. So I want to align them this way so that the dot is in the middle so it can hang nice and easy. You also want the dot close to the edge so that you can get your loop around it because that's what I plan on doing. Not so close that it'll break, but that looks good. Now, just because we can, I'm going to select this and hit shift and select this again, and then right click and group. And then I'm going to right click again and I'm going to make them red for cutting. That's just what I like to do. You can pick any color, obviously. Then I'm going to get some text and I'm going to write lots. But that's a boring font. We also want to engrave it, so we're going to fill it in. I have got all of my these system ones are all the ones that I have put in here. So there's a lot of, well, most of them are. A lot of really cool fonts. These are just ones I downloaded from defont.com. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I do. Just something a little bit fancier. That looks good. So then I'm going to come back. I'm going to click off. I'm going to click on this outside one. And I want to actually go to cut because I hadn't selected that yet. And this, I'm going to change to a different color so that I can see what's happening. And that one is set to engrave. So this one is cut. This one is engrave. And it's just easy to do it that way with different colors. That's all. But we need to turn it as well. So I'm just going to grab onto the turny part and turn it like that. And then bring it up here. You don't have to engrave it. I just want to show you that we can. This part here, this little button, if you pick it, you can curve it around a circle, which I thought was pretty cool. So I could have it like that. If you don't like something at any point, hit Control Z and it just goes away to the previous thing. Okay, so now I need to turn our machine on. Little rebels on. I wasn't paying attention. So it moves when it's on, and then we're going to hit, and it says it's connected. Sometimes it doesn't automatically connect. And user defined material. So you can tell it what material we're cutting. I'm going to tell it that we're doing black acrylic, even though we're not. We're doing orange acrylic. Or, I mean, it's red. Red acrylic? That's what we're going to do. And now I'm going to hit pause so I can set up the camera so that we can do in real time all the buttons I'm going to click. Alright, machine is on. Open her up. Now, this is the piece of acrylic that I currently possess. And I have checked to make sure that it fits. I don't know if it's going to fit in here, but that's a problem for it in a minute. So, I've done that. I can put the lid down. That's as far back as it's going to go. I may have to trim this down. We will see in a minute. But, lid down. Then we're going to come over here and we are going to click Start Marking. And then you want to click a rectangle. We can lift up the lid again. We want to pick the topmost corner, which is here, and hit the and then hit Start Marking on the computer. We're going to hit the button. It's going to beep. Then we're going to drag it down to here, which is the end, and hit it again, and then we're going to click End Marking, and done. So that is the space with which we can laser engrave. So I'm going to click on the card slots and the word, and we're going to drag it into the space, like so. So it just has to be within the space, right? So this little line is where we're at, and this little arrow here is telling us that we're still at the bottom edge. I've clicked red acrylic, and then I'm just going to click on the edge and make sure it says cut, and then click on here, click off, and then on, and it says engrave. So I'm happy. We're going to shut the lid. We're going to hit process. Are we not going to hit process? Obtain distance through auto measure. Yeah, okay. So it's going to touch it. We've now done auto measure. I sometimes forget that bit because it's so cool. And then we're going to hit confirm. And then we can hit process. So it knows how deep it is. It knows the area with which we can do stuff. And then I'm going to hit start. Yes, 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 yes. And that's just because we've got high power because it's acrylic. It makes the beep noise, then hit start. I have sped this up a lot, just otherwise we'll be here all day. But the whole lot only took, I think, 17 minutes. I'm pretty sure I tell you at the end of this little section, if I didn't fast forward that as well. But it did the engraving first, and now it's doing the cutting. And you can see, like, it just fits within the space that I told it to. And the little leftover bits I will probably turn into earrings at some point. I am voice recording over this bit too, because it turns out I was just whistling to myself and was not giving you any information. So what I'm doing right here is I'm checking the corner to make sure it lifts out and has separated before I moved the laser. Because you can always recut and do a second go. So I'm pushing into the corner so I can get out the other bit. And here is my fabulous card slots. So it's cut really well. I was very, very, very impressed considering I didn't have to change anything. And we are now going to paint over that section. You can just leave it like it is, but I want to paint it green because I'm obsessed with green, and why not? Alright, so we're outside. Do we expect anything other than green from me? I feel like you shouldn't at this point. And I'm just going to spray that. That's it. Probably too much paint. Whatever.
Let that dry, and when I say dry, I mean really, really dry, and then we can peel it off and it's done.
Alright, this is incredibly exciting, so I'm just going to actually, peel it off. I mean, it's just black. Clear would be better, but I can't cut clear. And to be honest, they're card slots. You don't really need to see it anyway. So if you don't have all your templates, you can do it like this. And then you just pick out the middly bits. It looks awesome. Mainly because it's green, obviously. And boom, I now have my own template. So this works for several patterns, which is why I've made one, and I use it a lot. So now I won't have to measure them out all the time, because to be honest, it was driving me insane having to constantly measure everything. It's not as fun as one might think. Whereas now, I mean, that hole is way too big. I could probably do half that size, but I've now got a card slot template. You could also, if you wanted to cut out some of the middle, you could cut like a rectangle out of here purely to use that for something else and waste less. But I'm going to keep mine solid because that way I won't, you know, wreck it, do crazy things with it. So, template. I also, off camera, did the other one I need. So I've got, they're different colors because I've just got what I've got as far as acrylic is concerned. Acrylic is not necessarily the cheapest thing, buying it in small pieces like I do. Big sheets work out cheaper per square inch or whatever, but then you still need to be able to cut it up and fit it in your laser. So I need the smaller pieces, so I've now got both my things ready to go. Alright guys, I'll see you next time. Bye.